farm, family, community. This is Midwest Farm Weekly.
Good morning, I'm Elaine Wells, and welcome to Midwest Farm Weekly. This week, Wisconsin welcomed thousands of visitors for the NFL Draft. As they took in the local culture, they also sampled one of our state's signature products, cheese. Wisconsin produces over 600 different varieties of cheese, over 2.8 billion pounds of it annually. 90% of the milk produced in Wisconsin is used to make cheese, and 90% of that is shipped out of state. Wisconsin has the only master cheesemaker program in the world outside of Switzerland, and it's the only state that they require you to have a license to make cheese. Today we will take you inside a variety of local cheese plants where the flavors might be different, but the passion truly is the same. Many of these cheeses are available in stores around the nation, or these businesses offer shipping, so no matter where you are, you can sample a taste of Wisconsin. We start our tours with Belgioioso.
Belgioioso means beautiful and joyous. Belgioioso was a town in Italy, and from that came this idea of bringing beauty and joy together in Wisconsin cheesemaking, and so here we are.
The family's cheesemaking story starts more than a century ago in Italy. When Sophia's father moved his family to America in 1979, he wanted to continue that legacy. The company began making one kind of cheese.
So provolone is sort of the cheddar of Italy. It is in mild, medium, sharp, extra sharp.
The product line grew to meet demand with 30 varieties now in production.
Every cheese is almost like a baby. People say, what's your favorite cheese? And it's sort of like children. I love you the bluest and I love you the purplest. Each child is special and each cheese is special. And so some cheeses are great at melting. Some cheeses are great at crumbling. Some are great at shreds. Some are fantastic slices. All of our cheeses can just be eaten like a table cheese where you sit down at the table and enjoy the cheese. But beyond that, they're incredible for ingredients because there's a lot of flavor packed into each bite.
Belgioioso master cheesemaker Josh Kraus also followed his family passion for this industry.
Being a fourth-generation cheesemaker, I'd spend my weekends with my dad at the cheese factory, running around eating fresh cheese curds. They made cheddar, eating fresh cheese curds, running around in the vats in the coolers and things like that. And cheesemaking was the last thing I wanted to do. I was in college and I wanted to, they were hiring at Belgioioso summer help and I wanted to make some money for college, and I came in and I fell in love with it.
Cheesemakers are proud to be sustainable.
When we make Parmesan, the first step you have to do is skim the milk. When you skim that milk, that fresh cream we use to make mascarpone, or mascarpone, which we use in tiramisu. Then on the back end, when we make the fresh mozzarella, there is the whey. The whey gets condensed and we cook it again, ricotta, which means to cook again, recooked. And you pull that whey protein out and you make this wonderful cheese, little fiocchi, they call them little bows of cheese. And so our ricotta has a really wonderful flavor. Just like our fresh mozzarella, ricotta is kind of a second treat from the same milk, the same, process.
Now the whey, we concentrate that and we send it to a different one of our plants where they make whey proteins, whey lactose powder, things like that. The water we actually run through another system and we clean it up, and we can reuse that in the factory for pre-washes and on the floors and things like that. So nothing goes to waste anymore.
Milk doesn't travel more than 30 miles to a plant.
So good cheesemaking starts with a good partnership between the farmers and the cheesemaker themselves. We're both have the same goal of producing high quality, consistent product. So having that relationship with the farmers is excellent. Having them all within 30-mile radius, using the milk within 24 hours, picking it up every day. That's our number one ingredient, and it starts there, and then we continue the process that they started, which in turn gives us quality, consistent cheese.
A beautiful and joyous experience.
We choose to do things kind of the old-fashioned way, but with some modern technologies, as we've learned, and we have an amazing group of people, from our farmers to our employees, that are just part of the family.
Sophia is a wealth of knowledge about cheese pairing. She led me through a guided tasting of some of her favorites, and she shared the story behind some of the names of Belgioioso cheeses. You can see that on our website. Our next stop is Scray's Cheese. I visited their plant and store to see how they have evolved from picking up milk with horse and buggy to a modern plant that uses traditional recipes at the heart of the business.
They say that we're the only cheese company in the state of Wisconsin that has a drive-through window.
A quick curd run or a full fridge restock can happen at Scray's Cheese in De Pere.
So we make a cheddar, so cheddar curds and 40-pound blocks. So we do a variety of different flavors, like we do a blueberry, we do a fire roasted red bell pepper, we do natural, we do a natural smoked, we do all sorts of flavors. And then we do a natural red wax Gouda and a natural red wax Fontina as well.
Will is one of 6 licensed cheesemakers at the plant.
I don't think most people understand how hands-on it is. It's very much an art and not a science. It's not, it's like baking. It's not a specific set recipe where everything works out exactly every single time. It's like you have to go by the feel and by the way that the cheese reacts, because it is a live culture.
The Scray family has been making cheese for more than 100 years.
We do the same process. I have a picture up there where you can look at the viewing window and you can see that it's called matting the curd. They've been doing that this whole entire time, 100 years, and the process hasn't even changed.
But the business has grown. The 4th generation of Scrays added the retail space.
It's definitely very exciting to see customers come in. That's probably my favorite part, is being able to see a customer come in and see some of the cheeses that we make and talk about how much they love it, or that our cheese curds are the best. And everything's very physical, very handmade here. So it's all small vats, small batches. So I have a lot of pride in the product, and it's very exciting to be able to see that and be able to work with the team that we have.
Everyone has their favorites.
I really like spicy. So we have a habanero block, and that has 3.5 pounds of habanero pepper flake in it.
Will loves the classic curd.
The biggest thing is people are surprised because we end up making 1,500 pounds per vat. So like out of one vat, we'll make 1,500 pounds, and we'll make at least 3 vats of that a day. So we'll end up making 4,500 pounds of cheese curds that get sold fresh every single day.
And well, Wisconsinites eat plenty once you get outside the Badger State border.
Most people have never had a cheese curd that squeaks, that's that fresh, because when you're out of the state, it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks old. And here you can get it basically scooped right out of the vat.
So the biggest excitement for me is just introducing to these people out of state like what quality cheese is. Nobody knows that from a different state. They don't know, plus like all of the effort that goes into it, it's just really special.
Pride that shines through every step of the way.
It is like a little family, and you spend the majority of your time with the people you work with, so that really matters, and we really try to foster a culture here that's really special.
The team at Scray's is always innovating. Just this week, they rolled out mozzarella whips and string cheese for the first time. Still to come on Midwest Farm Weekly, they make some of the best cheese in the world. We will take you to the highly awarded Henning cheese in Kiel. Welcome back. We continue our series profiling Wisconsin Cheese Company. Renard's Cheese is a 4th generation family-owned cheese-making business in Door County. I suited up in a white coat for a factory tour led by master cheesemaker Chris Renard.
When I went into the master cheesemaker program, after making cheese for 20 years, I thought I knew a lot about making cheese. I realized how much I didn't know and how much more there was to learn.
Master cheesemaker Chris Renard continues to perfect his craft every day at his family business.
You can go on to get your master's in business or in the medical field. Why not do it in cheese?
The plant produces mozzarella, cheddar, Colby, Farmers, Munster, Brick, Marble, Monterey Jack, and more than 50 flavor-infused specialty cheeses.
From when the milk enters the vat until it's a cheese curd, you're looking at about 4 hours. Cheese is something you don't want to push time-wise. Higher quality cheese is going to take a little more time in the vats.
Each step carefully balances the unique properties a fresh load of milk brings to their plant.
What you were seeing is the cheddaring process. So what they're doing is they're stacking that cheese, it's expelling moisture and whey out, and it's knitting all those small little curds into one curd. Those slabs will run through the curd mill, and then that's when you get the fresh squeaky cheese curds that you can get at our store. That's the first product out of it.
Chris takes pride in mentoring people in the industry.
And we will train them, get them licensed. We have a wonderful staff right now. So our cheesemaker program takes about 2 years of training, and then we will get you licensed, and then help you make high quality cheese as part of our team.
Team is the key word when it comes to culture at Renard's.
We've won many awards over the years, and we always celebrate our awards as a team. So when we enter a contest, it doesn't go as that cheesemaker who entered it. We enter everything as a team because we do realize that everybody working together, as it comes from our farms, to our milk haulers, to our cheesemakers, to our staff that's selling in our stores, office staff, our cut and wrap team, we all have to work together, and that's the only way we're going to grow as a company.
Chris says they are lucky to work with local family farms.
We wouldn't be able to make the high quality cheese we make if it wouldn't be for the quality of the milk we get from our farms. It's been a partnership for years with our farms. So we've been working with many of these farms for over 20 years. So the quality of the milk comes in, it's phenomenal. I don't care how good of a cheesemaker you are, if you don't have high quality milk, you can't make high quality cheese. So they're the backbone to keep us going.
A vision moved forward by 4 generations of Renard's.
Our family business, we started in 1961. The business was founded by my grandfather and grandmother, Howard and Angela Renard. My dad and mom joined, Gary and Bonnie, in 1966. I came back to the business in 1995. My wife joined the business, and Ann and I now own and operate all of Renard's cheese. And we're proud to say that our 4th generation, our daughter came back to the business 2 years ago. So we're real proud to say that the family tradition will continue on.
The creation of a new retail space and bistro helped connect even more people with fresh cheese.
So we put in the sampling table. That works wonderful. It gives us a lot of feedback on any of the new cheeses we're trying. But then also the bistro allows us to showcase our cheeses and different ways to use them. And then the playground. That gives mom and dad a chance to sit back, let the kids play, especially when you're coming up into Door County and making that drive, and they can do their shopping, get a bite to eat, make it an experience, not just a quick stop in.
To start and end their visit to Door County with a taste of the Renard's family recipes.
It's awesome to see the hard work you put into it and the smile on people's faces when they try it. So there is a lot of passion and pride that goes into what we do.
Stores across the United States and as far away as Dubai sell Renard's cheese. Plans are in motion to expand their current cheese factory in Algoma. An all-female cheese plant in our area is making award-winning curds, string, and more, and their milk comes direct from the farm on site. We now tour the Ron's Wisconsin cheese plant in Kewaunee County.
I grew up cooking a lot with my family growing up. I really loved recipes. I grew up with a lot of animals as well, so it kind of went hand in hand for me, and I always just love seeing the process of how things are done, and that's really what drew me into making cheese.
Haley Fry is the head cheesemaker at Ron's Wisconsin Cheese, one of 4 women who operate the plant.
I think the best thing for us here is that it's so fresh. I mean, when I tell people how fresh our milk is coming directly from the parlor to me, I think that is the biggest thing, that you cannot match that flavor. It's just so fresh and squeaky. The mozzarella whips have that great shred. I love it.
They produce farmstead cheese, which means it's made from milk exclusively sourced from the herd of animals raised on the same farm where the cheese is produced.
So usually from me pulling milk from the parlor to my finished product of cheese, I'm going to average between probably 7 to 8 hours, depending, from finished start to finish. So it's a very hands-on process, and it's very much using your senses of touch, smell, taste, feel. It's very, very complex, and every day it's a little bit different. Touching cheese, working with it, you never know what you're going to get, and you always have to listen to exactly what the cheese is telling you to do. That's how you get the best results.
She says happy, healthy cows do make better milk and cheese.
So I think we have a really great program here with Pagel's cropping, with our herd help. So our herd management, he really takes the time to make sure they're getting the quality rest, food, nutrition. They're monitored 24/7 with their collars. They also they're so comfortable. They're so well cared for, even all the way around. And I think that really adds to what our products have to offer customers.
The plant produces primarily curds, string cheese, and mozzarella whips, in addition to some block cheese like the award-winning snow cheddar.
We did take home the U.S. Dairy World Championship. We took home a first place for our whips. We have a few Wisconsin State Fair awards. And that's a big deal because, I mean, you really meet people all around the world and you never realize how small of an operation you are to these large corporations all around the world. And it's such a humbling feeling knowing that this little piece is such a big part of it, and that's awesome.
Haley hopes that visitors get to experience the squeak of fresh Wisconsin cheese along with the warmth that it brings.
But I really hope people get to have like the feeling of like the Midwest, how welcoming people are, how fresh it is, how much we care about the dairy industry, how kind everyone is to one another. And it truly is, you know, when you travel out to bigger cities and you get, you know, the busy, fast life and you come to Green Bay where everybody kind of knows everybody and it's just like a little piece of heart, and especially Lambeau Field. Like, Lambeau Field is such a destination for fans all around the world. You know, we're really known for the Packers, beer, cheese, and football. Like, what's better than that?
Ron's recently collaborated with Badger State Brewing on this new Brewski beer cheese spread. It's infused with their local beer. You can buy this at Ron's Wisconsin Cheese in Luxembourg and at Badger State as well. For 111 years, the Henning family has been making cheese in Kiel, Wisconsin. They recently earned gold ribbons for their aged cheddar and Dragon's Breath cheddar at the U.S. Championship Cheese Contest. Henning's onion and chive cheddar not only won first place in its class, it placed in the top 20 cheeses in the nation. I set my alarm early to take a tour of this Wisconsin business.
It's always nice when you do win awards. It just kind of proves that you're doing a good job day to day in your plant.
Wisconsin master cheesemaker Kerry Henning is proud to carry on his family legacy.
My grandfather made cheese for 49 years, my dad for about 50 some years, and I've been making cheese myself for like 44 years now, so a lot of longevity. I have a son and a nephew that are also out in the plant right now.
To elevate his craft to the next level, Kerry earned his master's degree in cheddar, Colby, and Monterey Jack.
Just a real honor to be a master cheesemaker, and Wisconsin's the only state that really has an in-depth program with it.
He says their award-winning cheese starts with the best ingredients.
We do buy milk from about 17, 18 local dairy farmers in the area here. They're probably within about 25 miles of the plant. And so our milk truck goes out every day of the week, 7 days a week, bringing in the fresh milk. And we're real happy to have these farmers.
The plant is considered medium size in the dairy state, making around 15,000 pounds of cheese in a day.
We do traditional cheddar cheese, which means it's like cloth bound and then waxed to preserve it. We also do what we call 40-pound blocks, which is vacuum packed in plastic bags. So we do cheddar, Colby, Monterey Jacks in those styles, and we also do some Gouda and some mozzarella.
From there, the line explodes, adding more than 40 flavors to those base cheese types.
As much as we can to modernize things, it's really nice, but when we do things by hand the traditional way, we feel we have more control over it. And we talked a little bit about all the flavors we do. So if you're highly automated, you got to run one thing all day long. Here we can run 3 or 4 different types of cheeses in a given day by being manual.
The process is designed to use every drop of milk.
People wonder, where does whey protein come from? It comes from cheese factories. All the whey proteins comes from cheese factories. So when we're making cheese, we got curd and whey. So for every 10 pounds of milk, we get 1 pound of cheese, 9 pounds of whey. So at the end of the day, we have a lot of whey that we have to, get rid of. So the first thing we do when we take the whey off of our cheese vats here, we're going to run it through a centrifuge to pull out any remaining fat. So that fat we sell to a creamery that makes butter out of it. Then after that, the rest of the whey we sell to a plant where they're going to now start pulling the proteins and sugars out of the whey, and then the protein is sold and combined with other things to make these whey protein drinks.
Kerry hopes people visiting our state get the chance to feel the squeak of a famous product.
We're known for our cheese curds, so I hope if you're from out of state that you can stop in at some local cheese factory where they're making fresh cheddar cheese curds while you're here. Most of the time, it's like a bakery where donuts are ready first thing in the morning. Same with curds, especially at our place. We have curds ready by 7 in the morning.
And while he's proud of every recipe, when Kerry sits down for a snack, he does have his favorites.
First of all, I'll probably grab like a year-old cheddar. That is probably my #1 go-to. cheese. Then I like our peppercorn cheese. It's peppercorn with cheddar that's aged a bit. It has a nice flavor to it. Then after that, I do love our traditional Colby cheese.
Henning's retail store is located in Kiel. For more information on any of the unique cheese companies featured in today's episode, head to wearegreenbay.com, click on Midwest Farm under the Community tab on the homepage. And when you're shopping, be sure to look for this. It is the Proudly Wisconsin Cheese Badge. Have a great rest of your weekend.